I'm going to try and completely farm it down. As you can see, these boosted Incinerates just doing so much damage, right? We're able to take out this Skarmory here. They come in with their Azumarill, so I'm just going to go straight for the Brave Bird right now. I did have to land this Flame Charge on the Shadow Victreebel because Swampert is going to get instantly deleted here. So I'm going to come in with my Talonflame. Hopefully I don't overtap this time. And luckily I'm able to get to a Flame Charge just in time here. This is obviously easily going to one-shot the Shadow Victreebel. And hopefully Swampert can close towards endgame, right? Again, much Shadow Ball right now. And luckily I'm able to get to a Shadow Ball with like 1 HP. And this is going to be super effective against Bronzong because of that Psychic typing. And should pretty much one-shot it there. So I mean, what's up everybody? Welcome back. So it's Fletchling Calm Day in Pokemon Go. And in this video, I'm going to be trying out Incinerate Talonflame in the Great League. Now, Incinerate is obviously the new Community Day exclusive quick move for Talonflame. And honestly, it's made it so much more better. This thing is an absolute monster right now, especially with the Flame Charge Incinerate combination. You're going to be able to do so much damage across the board, right? And of course, you also have access to Brave Bird, which is going to hit for neutral against water types like Azumarill, which is probably going to be the biggest threat to a Talonflame. And for this particular team comp, I'm going to be running it alongside Jellicent and Shadow Swampert as well. So this is a classic ABB line where I'm running double water in the back. And the strategy is to basically lead with Talonflame, and at some point during the opening matchup, I'm going to basically save switch into Jellicent to bait out the grass type, so that between Swampert and Talonflame, you're going to be able to sweep endgame, right? So moving on to this first battle here, we have Talonflame into a Skarmory. Very positive matchup this, and yeah, I'm just gonna, you can just see Incinerate just does so much damage. They are still staying in, which is surprising right now. So I'm just gonna go straight for the Flame Charge here. This is obviously gonna do massive super effective damage because of that steel typing on Skarmory. And it does get the shield, which is fine. And again, Talonflame is pretty glassy, so I'm gonna shield this up as well because Sky Attack would do quite a bit of damage here. And then, yeah, I'm still probably going to have to switch out at some point because just in case they have a grass type in the back, but I am still staying in. I'm going to try and completely farm it down. As you can see, these boosted Incinerates just doing so much damage, right? We're able to take out this Skarmory here. They come in with their Azumarill, so I'm just going to go straight for the Brave Bird right now. I did overtap a little bit, and that's the one unfortunate thing about Incinerate is you have to worry about overtapping there. And now I'm going to switch into my Jellicent here because I still want to preserve the Talonflame in case they have a grass type in the back, but they have an Altaria in the back, and this is pretty much GG's because they have no more shields right now, and Ice Beam is going to pretty much one-shot it, right? Altaria being double weak to Ice because of the Dragon Flying typing, and yeah, near one-shots it right there. So very, very convincing win to start off. I mean, we didn't even need Swampert basically, and Jellicent is actually, it's a pretty decent response to an Azumarill as well, right? I mean, the fact that you have Talonflame in the lead, you definitely need like decent responses to Azumarill in the back, and both Swampert and Jellicent can handle Azumarill as well. So moving into the second battle here, we have Talonflame into a Bronzong. This is absolutely beautiful. In fact, the entire team does well against Bronzong here, and they are still staying in. We're taking quite a bit of damage from those confusions, and I'm expecting them to switch at some point, but they are still staying in, which is absolutely perfect. I'm just going to go straight for the Flame Charge here, and let's see if this gets the shield. It does get the shield, which is okay. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to shield this up as well because Psyshock would do quite a bit of neutral damage in this matchup. And then, yeah, I'm still worried about there being a potential grass type in the back, but they actually come in with their Umbreon right now. So I'm actually going to build up to a Brave Bird. And then, yeah, I'm going to shield this up, and then I'm going to build up to a Brave Bird, throw the Brave Bird, and then switch into my Swampert here. Now, Umbreon can be slightly tricky for this team comp because obviously Jellicent doesn't have a great matchup against it, and this is one of those situations where you'd rather safe switch into your Swampert rather than your Jellicent. But the Brave Bird does get the shield there. I was trying to switch into my Swampert. Unfortunately, I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, I didn't click on the switch window correctly, and it ended up sending an extra quick move through, and because Incinerate is a 5-turn fast move, that's enough time for them to get off another foul play, right? So unfortunately, my Talonflame goes down, which is not great because if they have a grass type in the back, I'm pretty much done for here. So gonna come in with my Swampert here, gonna soak up this foul play. It's gonna do quite a bit of damage here, and then I'm gonna build up to 2 Hydro Cannons and go back to back. I'm hoping that 2 Hydro Cannons is gonna do enough damage to take out the Umbreon from this range. And yeah, does quite a bit of damage there. I'm immediately going to go for the next one before they can get to another foul play because I don't want my Jellicent to go up against the Umbreon there. And then this Hydro Cannon does take out the Umbreon, which is fantastic. And they come in with their Scrafty. This is where it gets really challenging. I know Scrafty does really well as well against Jellicent, and they basically have a double Dark Line, which can be pretty difficult to deal with for this team. Hydro Cannon, unfortunately, I'm able to land a Hydro Cannon. Also ends up being a CMP tie there, which is best case scenario right now. So, right, I mean, it's going to be a Power Up Punch, which is fine. And I'm going to come in with my Jellicent, and hopefully I can get to an Ice Beam before they can get to their charge move here. So I'm trying to build up to an Ice Beam, and unfortunately, I think it ends up being a CMP tie there. So this is actually going to be a boosted foul play, which is going to do massive super effective damage. And yeah, I'm expecting them to switch right now, but they are still staying in, which is great. But my only win condition there was to overfarm, right? I had to overfarm because I needed to land a Shadow Ball on the Bronzong as well. So I'm going to go for the Ice Beam, take out the Scrafty here. We're very close to a Shadow Ball right now. And luckily I'm able to get to a Shadow Ball with like 1 HP. And this is going to be super effective against Bronzong because of that Psychic typing. And should pretty much one-shot it there. So I mean, that was basically my only win condition. I mean, because we were double resisting counters, my only opportunity was to overfarm in that matchup, because if I hadn't done that, then we would have gone down to confusion before getting to a Shadow Ball there, right? So definitely a bit of a misplay on my part. I over-tapped right there. I wanted to preserve my Talonflame for a little bit more, but unfortunately we ended up, we got hit by a foul play and Talonflame pretty much went down there. So anyways, moving on to the third battle here. We have Talonflame into a Machamp here. This is a pretty positive lead, but obviously do have to watch out for Rock Slide. Talonflame is double weak to Rock, similar to Charizard because of the flying fire typing. And I'm going to shield this up, probably going to be a Rock Slide here. And yeah, it is a Rock Slide. It's a good thing we shielded that. And then I'm just going to build up to 2 Flame Charges here. And then I'm just going to go back to back. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the first one here. Let's see if this gets the shield from the Machamp. And it does get the shield. Immediately going to go for the next one right now. But they make a really nice switch into their Umbreon to catch the Flame Charge, right? So this is not great. Yeah, I mean, because Umbreon's quite tanky as well. So at this point, I'm probably going to build up to a Brave Bird. No, I was trying to actually switch into my Swampert to catch the move, but yeah, we don't get it in time. So I'm going to shield this up. It is a Dark Pulse, and I'm probably going to go for a Brave Bird right now, right? So yeah, no, I'm actually going to store up that energy and then switch to my Swampert here and soak up this foul play right now. I almost over-tapped and ended up wasting all that energy there. And yeah, Dark Pulse does quite a bit of damage against Swampert right now. And then I'm just going to go for the Hydro Cannon as soon as possible here. I really want to get rid of this Umbreon as soon as possible. Hopefully they let this go through. And yeah, they actually let that go through, and I'm going to be able to farm it out. They actually come into their Meganium. This is exactly why I wanted to preserve my Talonflame, is because just in case they have a grass type in the back, you definitely want to preserve it, right? Because in this particular scenario, I mean, it's the fact that they let 2 Pokemon in the front, which were kind of weak to Azumarill. You'd expect they'd have something like an Azumarill counter in the back. So I'm going to come with my Talonflame here and go straight for the Flame Charge right now. And we're almost at 2 of these. So the first one does get the shield, which is okay. I'm going to try and build up to another one here. This is just going to be a Frenzy Plant because I feel like it's too soon to be Earthquake. Frenzy Plant is double resisted because of the fire flying typing. And I'm going to immediately go for the Flame Charge. Once again, I ended up over-tapping here, but I'm able to get to a Flame Charge just in time. This is going to take out the Meganium from that range. And they actually come in with their... Yeah, I mean, they come back with that Machamp, and I'm going to catch the move on my Jellicent here. I'm hoping it's not payback, it's just a Rock Slide, which is great. And then they actually try to sack their Umbreon, but it doesn't end up working out for them. And at this point, I should be able to get to a Shadow Ball here. And this is going to do enough neutral damage to take out the Machamp and take the win for us there. So, I mean, you'd expect... The thing is that as long as they switch... if they switch first, you still don't know that if they could have a Grass type in the back. Because the fact that they led with Machamp and Umbreon, I mean, those are 2 Pokemon which are weak to Azumarill, right? So, it's quite natural that they would have something in the back which is good against Azumarill, which... in most cases, it's going to be a grass type. So you definitely want to preserve a little bit of health and energy on Talonflame in those situations. So anyways, moving into the 4th battle, we are 3-0 in the set right now. We have Talonflame into a Shadow Machamp here. Fantastic lead once again because these Incinerates are going to do so much damage. They make a switch into their Crobat, and once again, I actually make a mistake of staying in. I honestly should be switching out into one of those water types back there. And I'm just going to go for Flame Charge here, and it does get the shield, which is fine. And I'm just going to still stay in because you can see those Incinerates are doing so much damage right now, right? I'm going to shield this up. Probably just going to be a Poison Fang right now, but it ends up being a Shadow Ball. It's a good thing we shielded that. And then I'm just going to go for the Flame Charge immediately. I ended up over-tapping a little bit there, but I just wanted to get it off before they can get to a Poison Fang or something. Yeah, this is probably going to take out the Crobat from that range. And Shadow Machamp does come back in. So at this point, I'm actually going to build up and store a Flame Charge and then switch in my Jellicent here. Like I mentioned, you definitely want to have that energy or health on Talonflame. In case they have a grass type in the back. So yeah, I'm going to shield this up. I was expecting this to be a payback, but ends up being a Rock Slide. And they have a Shadow Wake in the back. So as expected, I mean, there's that grass type right there. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam right now. And let's see if this gets the shield from the Shadow Wake. It does get the shield. Now this is very tricky, right? I absolutely have to land this Flame Charge on the Shadow Victreebel because Swampert is going to get instantly deleted here. So I'm going to come in with my Talonflame. Hopefully I don't over-tap this time. And luckily I'm able to get to a Flame Charge just in time here. This is obviously easily going to one-shot the Shadow Victreebel. And hopefully Swampert can close towards endgame, right? Again, Machamp doesn't have too much energy right now. And unfortunately, my switch time is not back up yet. So they were able to get a little extra farm right there. And then I'm going to try and build up to a Hydro Cannon here. Now, Cross Chop or Rock Slide is not going to KO from this range. But they go for Rock Slide, which is interesting, which makes me wonder they're probably running Dynamic Punch is the second move, I'm not sure. But either ways, I think we had that anyways, because I'm going to be able to get to this Hydro Cannon here. It's going to do enough neutral damage to take out the Shadow Machamp and take the win for us there. So, as you can see, honestly, this team has been working so well for me so far. I mean, there were some couple of close battles there, but overall, as you can see, it's really clutch in situations like these. So, yeah, Talonflame is definitely putting in a lot of work there. So, moving on to the 5th battle here, we are 4-0 in the set right now. We have Talonflame into a Skarmory. Once again, very positive lead this. You definitely want to catch these Skarmories in the lead. And they are still staying in, which is interesting. This tells me that they could probably have something else in the back, which is also weak to Talonflame. But they make a switch at their Diggersby. Now, this is fine. I'm just going to go for the Brave Bird here. And then switch into my Swampert right now. Yeah, Talonflame has a decent matchup against Diggersby as well, but I definitely want to preserve the Talonflame for the Skarmory. So I'm going to come in with my Swampert here. I'm going to shield this up because I don't want to get hit by an Earthquake. Earthquake would do a lot of neutral damage against Swampert, and it is an Earthquake. It's a good thing we shielded that. And then I'm going to overfarm a little bit. I'm going to actually build up to 2 Hydro Cannons and then go back to back here. Obviously, Hydro Cannon is going to be super effective against Diggersby because of the ground typing. And again, but Diggersby is extremely tanky, right? So I'm just going to try and go for another one here before they can get to an Earthquake. But yeah, like I said, Diggersby is extremely tanky, so it's not going to one-shot it. It almost takes it out. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite take it out. And at this point, this could probably be an Earthquake. So I'm going to play it safe and shield this. But unfortunately, ends up being a Fire Punch shield bait. So that's not great. Definitely needed to preserve that shield, to be honest. But I'm going to be able to Mud Shot down. And hopefully, I can get to a Hydro Cannon onto this Skarmory here. But unfortunately, they're able to get to a Sky Attack first. Now, if this is just a Sky Attack, we should be able to survive it and get off this Hydro Cannon here. And luckily, yeah, I'm able to get to a Hydro Cannon just in time. This is going to do massive neutral damage against Skarmory. And hopefully put it into Hex farm down range for my Jellicent here, right? So Swampert does go down, and I'm not going to come in with my Talonflame because we have no more shields. I'd rather come in with my Jellicent and soak up, because they're probably very close to the charge move right now. And I'm going to come in with my Jellicent and try and farm this Skarmory down here. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and farm it down with Hex. They're probably going to get to a charge move right now, hoping this is just a Sky Attack and not a Brave Bird. Yeah, Sky Attack is going to come through. It's going to do quite a bit of neutral damage, but it's okay. But then now they make switch into their Abomasnow. This is perfect. I mean, this is GG's at this point. I'm going to be able to get to a Shadow Ball here. This is going to do massive neutral damage against this Shadow Abomasnow. Near one-shots it right there. And I'm going to try and catch the Energy Ball on my Talonflame here. I'm hoping this is an Energy Ball because that's double resisted because of the Fire Flying typing. We catch an Energy Ball and this is GG's at this point. One Incinerate pretty much deletes the Abomasnow there. And then Skarmory is going to go down to Flame Charge there. Probably could have even farmed it down with Incinerate, and we still had a decent amount of health and Jellicent in the back, and yeah, we had that for the most part there. So as you can see, some pretty comfortable victories there. I mean, in certain situations, this team can absolutely destroy a lot of other team comps, and it's very, very strong, right? I mean, it's got a similar sort of structure to that of the Skarmory double Mudboy or the Skarmory double Water Alliance, but obviously with Talonflame in the lead, it's a lot more attack heavy, and it can just do so much damage right there. So yeah, I mean, overall, as you can see, I mean, this is actually a set where I went 5-0 with. I'm definitely looking forward to using this team a lot more, but I'll be trying out other interesting teams with Talonflame as well. Probably try out a double fire team, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.